Hello, everybody, and welcome to the KYF podcast. I'm joined here by Amy O'Reilly, Craig Johnston, and Peter Kelly, and I'm your host, Aaron Gorman Lee. And today's category is going to be favourite films and least favourite films and why. So we'll start off by asking Amy.
Personally, my most favourite film that I think I could watch 1,000 times and never be tired of it is Whiplash, and it's directed by Damien Chazelle. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's about the story of this kid he's a jazz drummer. He wants to be the best. He wants to be better than his idols, and he's just willing to work at anything. And he's taken under by this very prestigious teacher, who's arguably the best in the country or whatever in jazz music. And there's a lot of growth in it, I think, because at the start we see this character who's kind of very dependent on what others think of how he plays, and he pushes himself to the limits because of other people. And though he wants to be the best, I think that he wants to be the best for the wrong reasons, and that is why when his teacher pushes him and almost bullies him and stuff into this state where he doesn't want to play this instrument that he loved anymore, I feel he was driven more by the fact that he wanted to please his teacher. And I just found it an amazing film. The acting is excellent in it. I think the story is amazing. The script is great. I love it as a film, and I just think I could watch it.
Yeah, I've never seen it before, but
it's highly recommended.
Yeah,
good. The performances are out of this world. That teacher, whose name, the actor's name I can't remember, is
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
He's amazing in it.
So
Absolutely amazing.
even though I'm in a film group, I'm pretty much film illiterate. I haven't watched any good films. Everyone's like, oh, you should watch The Godfather. I'm like, I haven't watched The Godfather.
Oh, you should watch
And I'm
it.
just and then I basically just get beaten up because of it. It's like, you should be watching this. But I didn't even see Castaway, and then I watched it a couple weeks ago, and I was blown away just because I love Tom Hanks. But Craig, your favorite film and why?
My favorite film, it's kind of hard to pinpoint, but I'll choose one of my favorite films, and that would be Wolf of Wall Street, which is just so good. Because Martin Scorsese, he knows what he's doing with film. He can make a perfect balance with serious and comedy, and then telling an overall story that contains almost everything. Because the film is insane. So much insane stuff happens, but you can follow it easily. And the cinematography is great, and there's parts in it that are visual effects, but you wouldn't know they're visual effects.
Yeah, so he has a good FX team and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he just has a good eye for visuals.
It's 3.5 hours long or something as well, isn't it? I mean, it just keeps going and going. Yeah. It gets more insane all the time.
It's one of the best performances by Leonardo DiCaprio, because he's just so good in it.
Not gonna lie, haven't seen it. All right.
This weekend we're watching it. We are watching it.
Well, that's the film he really won the Oscar for. I mean, I know he won it for
Leonardo DiCaprio.
It was given it to him, I feel, after he didn't get it for Wolf of Wall Street.
Just kind of pity, oh, here you go, Leo. Just pat on the back,
It was his turn, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who's on the list next? Leonardo, I guess. Here you go. Just kind of what film has he done recently? But no, I think the main point of this podcast is actually to show me what decent films are, actually.
Yeah.
So, Peter, what is
Educating Aaron.
Educating Aaron, new title, that's what it is.
Educating Aaron. I like Craig, it's very hard to go, this is my favourite film of all time. I can't do that. But one film that I guess shaped the way I thought about film and cinema in general would have been Requiem for a Dream, which I don't know if any of you guys have seen.
I've seen bits of it, yeah.
Darren Aronofsky. It was his second feature film, I think, after Pi. But it's a crazy story about different people who take drugs and the bad things that happen to them as a result of them taking drugs. You've got this mother character who's addicted to diet pills. And then you've got these kind of small-time dealers who end up getting hooked, and it's just an incredibly compelling story that's told in an amazing style with cinematography and stuff like that. And for me, growing up, when I watched that, my mind was just blown and opened up to the possibilities of cinema and what it can do. And it's got its flaws in some ways, but as a film, it definitely kind of made me think about cinema. And you guys should watch it. And I think it's a film that should go on the curriculum actually for school. It's not preachy in the slightest at all, but it's just an incredibly well told story.
All kind of nodding here, like in agreement. Like, but obviously they can't see that. We're just like, yeah.
It's 18s actually, so you guys can't watch it until you're 18. Are you 18?
Oh, yeah, we can't watch it. Yeah. But of all the things to get addicted to, diet pills, eh?
Oh, they're incredibly addictive, supposedly.
I'd never thought
they're
that.
dangerous things, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, prescription drugs are...
I know about prescription drugs, like painkillers, that kind of stuff, but like, I never do diet pills.
Well, she's an amazing actress in this film, and her story actually steals it from me. You know, she's basically a lonely widow, and her son, who's another one of the main characters in the film, but she ends up going on this crazy journey, you know, which doesn't end well for her, unfortunately. But yeah, more recent films that I loved. Irish film that I loved this year was A Day for Mad Mary, which was directed by Darren Thornton, I think.
Been meaning to see that, but I haven't.
Yeah, it's just a great story. It's a great story told, and it's great to see Shauna Kerslake, who played the main character, violent women in film. Haven't seen that really like that before in such a way, and just a really interesting character. Really well told and very inspiring film as well. So yeah.
Have you guys seen the that film? It's like it's like this. I can't remember the title at the moment, but it's like this weird, like, it's basically this, it's pretty strong topic. It's like this woman goes, she's at home in, like, her home is like a remote location, and these lads break in, and they you know, they do bad stuff to her, but she survives it. And when she does that, she goes out on this mad revenge spree. I saw it on, like, you know, Showbox, a real, like, you know, dodgy app for films and stuff. But it was basically like this weird film, and I watched the trailer for it, and it looked like one of the strangest things I've ever seen in my life. But from the trailer, it just looked like such, like a gory film. You know, like one of those ones, as people would describe it, gore porn. I know it sounds, but it's just like, it's like Saw, that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Where does, like, just this question to you is, where do you think that kind of, like, those kind of weird, like, out there themes come from? Like, in that kind of a sense, if you get what I mean. Like,
it's usually independent directors, because there are studios out there that will choose Cars 3 over a
Whatever
film
that
that'll
was.
have, that has a weird, interesting idea that I'd actually like to see.
I think you're right. Like, yeah, that it's become such a. I mean, obviously it's a business, but it's so foolproof now in a way that, you know, Pixar will make Cars 3 because it's guaranteed to make the money, and it's guaranteed to make the producers and the investors money. And then every so often you get these kind of original films that have come through the festivals and gotten a release and take out them by storm. I don't know the one you're talking about.
Oh no, I don't think it went by storm. Like, they've already made 2 of them. So
okay.
Yeah, they've already made 2 of them. I'm not gonna watch it because it just didn't like, you know, interest me. It didn't look something like I'd be into. I'd be more that, you know, I'll watch Cars 3, you know. Anyway, the other part of this question, the what is your least favorite film and why is that? We'll go around, like, Peter.
Again, there's a lot of bad films, isn't there? I'm really just gotten so fed up with the entire superhero genre.
I am wearing a Justice League top at this moment.
Well, I just think it's on the topic of what we were just saying 2 seconds ago, that they're just such a formulaic film. They're all the same. It's such a money-making racket, and you're not watching anything that's got any love or originality or serious acting or, you know, proper kind of artistic elements to it. It's a formula that's followed and rehashed and regurgitated. And I saw a chart recently online somewhere where, like, the number of superhero comic book style films coming out in the next 5 years is something
Massive.
like 6 or 8 times what it has been in the last 10 years or something crazy. So they're just not going anywhere, and as long as they're making money, that's going to be the case. I mean, I saw one of the X-Men films there recently, and it's just the same.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna argue against that. I love the superhero films. I know, like I might be a bit biased wearing the Justice League top right now, but I will agree there is a formula that you do follow. Like with that, like it is usually that, but it's sometimes you get the really original and good ones in it. Like
What was the last original superhero movie?
well, for me personally, I really enjoyed Man of Steel. I know it sounds stupid, but it was a different spin on Superman as a character. It really it brought him differently. Like it showed him differently instead of him already being the established kind of I'm superhero guy. I here to save. But it's shown him how much he's had to control himself and that kind of stuff. Really showed his character. But then again, people would argue you could just read a comic.
Well, it's not even about. I mean, I think you can do something with them. I think for me, I really started to hate them when the Batman ones came out, and they were just deliberately dark and broody for no reason. And Christian Bale whispered everything. And it just got so fed up watching them. They're very self-indulgent. And, I don't really go and see them. I go and see. My wife likes X-Men, so we went to see that. But that's the first one of them I've seen in years because I just got so fed up with them. Deadpool actually was the one that stood out for me.
Yeah.
Actually,
that
it's
was
a bit
brilliant.
different. Yeah. But even that kind of descended into. But there were some amazing moments in that hour.
Yeah, well, and now I'm going to bring the question across to Craig here. Least favourite film and why?
Again, as Peter said, there's a lot.
Of a superhero film.
No. There's just a lot
of
of
bad films.
Bad films. There's one that at the start of the year, I kind of watched a lot of horror films, and that's where there's a real
stop
problem.
being scared of them.
Yeah. That's where there's a real problem because there are good horror films out there, but they're all overshadowed by these films that are put together by studios just to make money around Halloween time and the summer blockbuster time. And again, blockbusters are a bad one. I'm not sure which one to choose here. Horror, you have all these, as they were called in the 80s and 90s, sexploitation, where you'd have a real stupid horror film, but then you have loads of people going to it because in the trailer there'd be a sex scene. And they'd be like, let's go see that. And then there's the summer blockbuster. Not sure if any of you've seen this. It's Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh, I watched that.
I
seem to have a taste for bad films.
That was
I always watch the bad ones.
That was so bad. I actually didn't enjoy the original Independence Day.
I really liked the original Independence
I watched
Day.
it and I was like, it's a bit Mr. America, man.
Oh yeah, it was.
It's completely. Yeah, it's so
But
cheesy.
that's kind of the point of it, though.
But I was a kid seeing it in the cinema. It was like, wow.
Yeah,
Just
again,
whoa.
I do enjoy Michael Bay's films because visually they're amazing. Story-wise, they're just.
I think
switch
a lot
off
of
your
people
brain.
would argue there against Michael Bay's films, Transformers.
Yeah, but like visually they're amazing.
Oh yeah, visually, but
That's
just like
what I'm talking about.
just.
But Pain and Gain was actually pretty good.
Again, haven't seen it. I just seem to like just watch bad films. All right, so I'll move it along to Amy now.
See, I don't think I really have a least favourite film, but if I was to say there was something that I hate in films, it's forced romance ruining good films. And there's films like Now You See Me, and it's a really good film, or Kingsman: Secret Service, that are just completely unrelated to anything romantic. There's a story, it's about magicians, and they're
Bank
secret
heists?
bank robbers, right?
Yeah.
But then there's these unnecessary romances in it, that there has to be a kissing scene in the end of it, and it's so annoying to me that you could have something so good and it's got this good story, it's got good actors, it's got it's really portrayed really well, and then just in the last scene there has to be someone kissing, and I'm like,
Like it
It's
feels
the
like
producers,
crowbarred in,
it's the
like,
producers going, we need the kissing scene. It's
Yeah.
part of the formula.
like
Yeah.
I just find them unnecessary, and it's just one of my biggest pet peeves. I think is just stories that have completely nothing to do with romance, and there just like has to be that romantic scene.
really
somewhere
grinds
in
your
it.
gears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what was it? Battleship. Battleship had the
Oh.
potential to be a great action film. Then they said no, make your man have an interest in Liam Neeson's daughter.
What I would have really liked is if, like, you know, they had all like this, you know, they're like, oh, you suck my battleship, you know, like, but it turns out like it's just actually like little kids playing it, and it's just like
Like,
them
if
like,
they-
you sunk it, no, and
Like,
it's
if
like
they
dinner
went-
time, Timmy,
If they
and
went
they
the
just like have to go back
if
in.
they went the Lego movie was a really good movie.
Lego movie was good.
If they went the Lego movie route where it's actually in the real world and it's in the kid's mind for Battleship, but like made it 18s would have been amazing.
It would have been really funny as well. At
Yeah,
the
it
end,
would've been
just
great.
like dinner time, Timmy, and he's there like, but Mom, I'm playing Battleship, and
Yeah.
then like just dun Battleship at the end, like. But yeah, and you just saying like the romance just like being shoved in
Yeah,
to
like
films.
just even so, like in a film like Now You See Me, and I'm kind of picking on it there. It is a great film. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But like, there's the two FBI agents, and like, sure, there's a story in between them somehow, but there's nothing that I would see as romantic between them, and they happen in the very last scene or the second last scene or so. They meet up and they kiss, and it's just. I just find it completely pointless. I find that it almost ruins films when it's just kind of shoved in there for the factor that, hey, people like people kissing kind of thing. I don't know, just not
Make
a fan
money.
of that. Yeah.
All right, so I just want to ask you guys your opinion on when do you think Incredibles 2 is coming out? I know this is just
2018 or 2019.
2018. Is anyone else buzzing to see
Oh.
Incredibles
Oh,
2?
so
I
good.
love Incredibles.
It's funny
That's
how
amazing.
they
But actually, genuinely, I prefer Pixar to go and make a new story instead of just doing Incredibles 2
yeah, but like
Yeah, that would be
or
good.
Cars 4 or whatever. Like,
yeah,
Cars
like they
27.
they made Cars 2 and 3 before Incredibles, and Incredibles was a fantastic movie.
Like, I'd like to see Incredibles 2, but then I want them to leave it there. I don't want
Yeah.
them to ruin it. I really, like, I remember watching Incredibles and be like, oh, is there 2 of this? And then, no, there's nothing. Like, what I've seen is, like, you know, like, studios and that kind of stuff, they get the stuff that isn't actually, like, a really good story, like Incredibles, and they say, oh, yeah, we'll make it 2 of this. And then they postpone it for ages and then make, you know, a bunch of Cars films, you know, or something like that. It's just like, what do you think of that? Is it more, you know, money making, or like has the kind of industry gone from just like, you know, making a good film to
Yeah.
just making money?
It's gone to making money.
Just making money.
Making money is what it's all about, unfortunately. Yeah. And it's a shame to see Pixar because Pixar tell wonderful stories.
It's like Toy Story.
Yeah.
That's their one property that they actually put heart and soul into, because that was their first property.
Mm.
And then
Well, I mean, yeah, I love Pixar's stuff. Even their sequels, I love them because they're gorgeous and they're great storytellers.
yeah, like
But
Finding
I'd
Dory.
love them to just keep making new stuff and not go back and make second and thirds. It's
Again, they're kids' movies, and kids want to see it. Like you have,
Like the Good Dinosaur was Disney, wasn't it? The Good Dinosaur. I watched it
that
and
was horrible.
I sat there and I was just, my little sister was sitting there like loving every minute of it. I'm just sitting here, this is one of the worst things I've ever watched in my life. But yeah, so we've talked about a lot of random things here today. But yeah, thanks for listening, and hopefully be back next week? Question mark maybe. Right. Well, thank you and goodbye.